Hello YouTube, this is Carrie, and, well, long time no see. So it's been like 3 months since I made a video, and this isn't still going to be like one of my official transgender vlogs where I go into depth talking about something. This is kind of just going to be me realizing that I have not made a video in so long, and so I've actually had people asking me, are you okay? And so, you know, this is kind of just my video to assure everyone that I am alive and doing fine, and in fact, a lot has been going on, the most important of which is that I do have a job again. I started about a month and a half ago. So, yeah, I'm officially a working girl now. And, you know, my first ever post-transition job. It's, like, really exciting. And the best part is it's still in the casino industry. And, you know, today I heard that it's possible that I might be able to be a dealer again. So somehow, despite being fired from 2 jobs in the same field, I still was able, and, you know, despite having no work history under my legal name and gender, I was able to get a job. And I'm working, doing it as myself. And here's the best part. I've been accepted. And shockingly, I think I'm actually self. Nobody has said a word to me. You know, proper pronouns all the time, the name all the time, not a single question from anyone about my gender. I've gotten like maybe one comment from a guest that could be considered negative. He said, you have a deep voice, you know, and then he responded with, you're cute though. So, you know, it's like nobody has outright said anything to me. And, you know, the questions people ask, it's like they notice that I'm tall and they notice that I'm big, but they think that I'm just a tall, big cis woman, you know. They're asking me, like, did you play basketball in high school? And, you know, like, today one of my coworkers asked me, so did you ever get made fun of because of your height? And, again, those are things that you just don't ask guys. You don't automatically assume that someone who's 6 foot tall and male played basketball or got, you know, you don't think guys get made fun of for their height. So, you know, as far as I know, you know, no, I don't think anybody knows. I'm not saying it's impossible, you know. I am still kind of getting treated a bit standoffishly, but, you know, for the most part, there's not really any serious indications, you know. I think it's enough that I can convince myself that, you know, nobody really, like, if people know, they don't care. And, you know, I guess that was kind of the point in transition that I always wanted to get to was, you know, I didn't care if I was 100% passable, you know. I just wanted to get to the point where I could be myself and live my life, and even if people could tell that I was trans, that I'd be female enough that they really wouldn't care. And, you know, I do feel like that is a point of transition that just about anybody can get to. And, you know, passing as cis 100% is extremely rare in the MTF world, but again, there is that point where you're female enough that people really don't care, even if they can tell, because, you know, there's so few differences between you and just a regular woman that, you know, it's like, what's the difference? And, you know, that's kind of how I've been feeling, you know. I still have had my self-depressive bouts, but for the most part, you know, it makes a big difference going out there into the world every single day. And, you know, you can't just sit around in your house feeling sorry for yourself all day, stuck with nothing but your own appearance and your own judgmental mind running away with you. You know, even if you're feeling bad, you still have to get dressed in your nice work clothes, put on your makeup, and be the perfect customer service girl. And, you know, you have to do that when you're working. And, you know, it's just made such a huge difference in how I see myself and my own self-acceptance. You know, it's actually kind of getting a bit hard to remember what it used to be like. I mean, it's like I can consciously realize that I was male, but in the same way, it almost feels like my essence has been freed, you know. It's like when I am acting and doing things at work, I don't, you know, it does not feel held back anymore, which, again, is the biggest difference in the world. And eventually I'm going to make a video elaborating on all of this and getting into it further, but that's pretty much my brief update, is that I'm working. Things have been going pretty well. I've had a few really nasty self-depressive bouts, which I will talk about, mainly due to still not feeling, quote, female enough, you know, just feeling like you know, I'll never be perfect. I'll always just be a trans woman and, you know, still being jealous of cis women, and especially kind of coming, this is the big thing that working has kind of made me come to terms with, is the end of transition. You know, before there was never a sense of completion, where now there is definitely a sense of completion of, I've accomplished what I set out to do. Now what? And so, you know, it kind of opens up a whole new set of obstacles. And, you know, I was actually feeling depressed for quite a while, because it's like, you know, I was, you know, in a way I was expecting transition to turn me into a completely different person. And, you know, it was going to solve all of my life's problems, and I was finally going to be this person that was grown up and could finally make something of my life and, you know, impress my family and all the people that I'd let down over the years because I was smart and yet failed. And, well, I ended up still making mistakes and still being the same person, still yelling at video games, still being snappy, still feeling immature and feeling like a failure. And so I actually kind of got depressed for a while, because I felt like, number one, appearance-wise, I felt like I'd never be female enough for them to fully accept me, and I felt like my behavior would never be perfect enough for them to accept me. And I actually felt really bad that, you know, I'd actually expected that this would solve all of my problems, and yet I kind of had to come to terms with the fact that I was still the same person post-transition. And, you know, that's kind of my advice for the night, is that, you know, transition, it isn't going to solve all your problems. It's purely a matter of self-expression. You know, it's purely a matter of which gender you feel like you are and how you express that to the world. And that's the important part. You know, it won't necessarily make you a better person. It won't necessarily fix all your problems. It won't necessarily, you know, make you any better of a character. For all you know, you could still be miserable and depressed post-transition if you were miserable and depressed pre-transition. It does not solve all your problems, you know. What it does solve is this feeling that you express yourself and there's an incongruence with your self-expression and the image that you put forth with the world and what you feel like that should be. And so, you know, female is much closer to how I've always felt on the inside. And that is why, you know, even though admittedly transition did not solve my problems, I'm still so happy, like, when I'm at work and accepted and just able to be myself without thinking about it anymore and without my gender constantly holding me back. And, you know, that was the difference. There were so many things that I could not do as a guy that now I'm free to do, and nobody thinks that it's weird. And so, and you know, my body is more congruent with how I wanted it to be. I'm more happy with it. I'm still not happy with it as a whole, you know. I don't think I'll ever be female enough for my own judgment, but, and this is quickly turning into not a quick update, but if you've learned anything by now, it's that I never shut up. I never know when to stop. But I do have so much to talk about, and I do plan on making videos in the future. It's just, yeah, when you're newly post-transition, you have a lot of shit to figure out. I mean, you know, somebody who has never been female before socially is suddenly thrust into the world, expected to know all of this. And it is mentally exhausting trying to figure out where my new place in the world is. So it's been a bit hard to have the mental energy to make videos, but I do plan to make some videos because I have so much to talk about. And I'll get into those in future videos. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for your patience. I do plan on making videos more often in the future, and I will make an official vlog and an official update soon enough. Bye. Love y'all. Thanks for sticking with me all this time. Bye.